Hey there, my foxy peeps. Yeah, no makeup on. I do feel better from when I had that cold, but I've been up all night because I have to go to work tonight at midnight for tomorrow, Friday. So I'm like plain Jane because I've been on my days off, trying to stay up all night. Yeah, that's difficult. But I thought I'd do a tag video because, well, first off, I haven't been doing any videos for like forever. Sorry about that. Because I was sick and tired and work is just hectic. It really sucks when you're a boss, you know? But, you know, now it's a little bit better, so I'm going to do the throwback. What the world? I can't even talk. See, I should be going to bed right now. I'm not doing a video. But I'm going to do a video anyway. The throwback tag. There, I said it. Okay, first question. What year were you born? Well, I was born in 1982. Yes, that long ago. Number 2. Do you have any pictures of yourself from when you were younger? Actually, I don't have any pictures of myself. That is sad. But, they're all at my brother's house, which used to be my dad's house, but my brother overtook the farm, so, you know, it's my brother's house now. My dad lives elsewhere. But, yeah, all the family photos and childhood photos of myself are at my brother's house, so. Number 3, what TV shows did you grow up watching? Well, I can remember TGIF. Every Friday, I could not wait to get home so I could start watching those shows when they came on. And I can remember Dinosaurs, Step by Step, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Family Matters, trying to think, I used to watch DuckTales. That was always an after school thing, to get home and actually turn on the TV and watch DuckTales. I can remember watching Transformers as a kid. Power Rangers in the early 90s when that first came out, like the Power Rangers. I watched that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know, like the regular, like Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse. I can remember when they had Mouse-a-Size. Now, anyone who don't know that, Mouse-a-Size, it was Mickey Mouse characters, you know, Disney characters on the Disney Channel, and it was all doing exercises, Mouse-a-Size. And I can remember Donald Duck and Goofy and, you know, all those other characters, you know, trying to do, you know, exercising in their weird looking costumes. And I was like probably 6 or 7 that I can remember watching that. I used to get up every Saturday morning just to do that, you know. And what else did I watch? I watched so many TV shows that I can't even name them all. I can remember Gem. That was in the early 80s, or the late 80s, Gem. Rainbow Bright, Strawberry Shortcake. Yeah, I can remember watching all of those. But that's all I can really remember, like, right off the top of my head right now. Number 4. What did you want to be when you grew up? And do you still want to do that? Well, I can remember one time literally stating that I wanted to be a school secretary. I don't know why. I thought it was like a fun job to be a secretary inside a school. And no, I would not want to be a school secretary right now. No, I wouldn't. I actually adore my job more better than trying to be a school secretary, because, no. Number 5. Show a video of yourself when you were younger. Well, I don't have a video of myself. They're all on cassette tapes. And I don't have access to those. Those are actually at my brother's house too. All of those. If they still exist, I'm not really sure. If my dad, I'm pretty sure my dad still has all those. Because I can remember my dad had the big, huge camera, the camcorder. Like, nowadays, you have a camcorder. I put all my camcorders away right now to show you my camcorders. But they're tiny nowadays, and they're all digital. Well, I can remember my dad having the camcorder. And he would have to, like, literally put it on his shoulder, look through a viewfinder, and record everything. So, yeah, those were on videotape. I mean, like, the cassette tape. Not those little itty-bitty ones. It was the cassette tape. It was an actual cassette. Or VHS, I should say. VHS tape. VHS. My bad. Number 6. What were your favorite toys to play with? Well, when I was younger, let's see. When I was a little kid, I always had my Tonka trucks, and there was a grader. I had a grader as a kid. I had trucks and tractors, cars. They did buy me, like, some Barbie dolls, but I really didn't play with Barbie dolls. I chopped off all their hair. I don't know. I was not very nice to Barbie dolls. I even tried to burn them once. I didn't want to play with girly things, mainly because I have all brothers, so that might be why, being the middle child, you know, I have a younger brother and a bigger brother, and yeah, I wanted to play with cars and trucks and be out in the dirt. So that's what I played with. Number 7. What's the most embarrassing thing that you can remember doing? I guess nothing really embarrasses me, so I don't really know. I don't know. I can't even think of anything. There was one time, though. This was kind of embarrassing. But I, like, you know, played it off like, oh, whatever, you know. Poor me, you know. But I was on the school bus, and I was getting off the school bus to go inside the school. Well, I always wore cowboy boots as a kid. Always had a pair of cowboy boots on. The lace-up ones, you know. And I was getting off the school bus, and it was, like, snowed outside and kind of cold. So I stepped off the school bus step, and poof! Landed right on my tushy. In front of everybody. I just got up and was like, oh well. Because nothing really embarrasses me, so, you know. I just kind of write things off. Number 8. Read something you wrote when you were in kindergarten. I don't have any of that. I think I have a baby book somewhere where it may be in, but I highly doubt my mom kept anything like that. And if she did, like I said, it would probably be at my brother's house. Because that's where everything's at. So I don't have anything, so I'm sorry. Number 9. 3 songs you loved to listen to as a child. Okay. Let's see. I'm really bad with song names. Like, I'll know the song, but I won't know who sang it or the title. Let's just say, when I was a child, all I listened to was country music. So, anything that was country, that's what I listened to. And that's probably what I liked. Because I can't think of any song names. It was usually by the Judds or Reba McEntire. So, whatever's in the late 80s and the early 90s, that's probably what I listened to. Number 10. What was one funny thing you dressed up as for Halloween when you were younger? Funny. I was always a witch on Halloween. I was nothing else, but there was one time, let's see, when I was like really young, my aunt like painted me and my brother's faces with face paint. I was supposed to be a butterfly, but I looked like some ghoulish clown thing, I don't know, but I felt like I was a beautiful butterfly, but I didn't look like one. And then I had a Miss Piggy mask. That could have been something funny, but usually I was always a witch. Number 11. Tell a funny story of something you remember happening when you were young. A funny story. I don't have anything. It is really late for me because I've been up since 5:30 yesterday afternoon, so I'm having a really hard time right now because it's like almost 9 o'clock in the morning. But I don't really know any funny stories of when I was young. I don't. So, nope. Number 12. Are there any special things you've kept from when you were a child? Special things. Let's see. I can remember, I don't know what war that was, like the Desert Storm War, maybe? I don't know. It was when they were first over in Iraq with the first President Bush. And we, in 2nd grade, was pen paling people over there. And I actually have a letter that I got back from somebody, which I thought was really awesome because, ironically, the person that I wrote over in Iraq, or Iran, or wherever she was, actually came from the same town that I lived in. She was from Hardin. So I was like, oh, that is so awesome. So yeah, which, you know, I was kind of leery at first whether or not I was going to get any letter back because a lot of kids didn't get letters back because the pen pals they chose died. But I did get that letter back, so I have kept that. I have read that over and over and over. But yet again, it is not here. It is at my brother's house. Number 13. What was something weird you used to do as a child? Weird. Like I'm not weird enough. Let's see. Something weird. Well, every summer, this is how much I love my, like, going to school and everything. I would pretend that me and my brother were going to school. I would take my regular books and literally write English or math or something in them, like in the front of the pages or whatever, and pretend that those were my workbooks for school. And we would hold like school sessions. My little brother was not much in school, so he wasn't like all keen in playing school. Or another weird thing that we would do, we would play church. We would take turns being the preacher. Mainly because, well, my dad was the treasurer of the church that we went to. So, you know, kind of didn't mind church to a point until I got older. And, yeah. But that was the only weird thing that I can think of. If playing school and playing church is kind of weird. I don't really know. Number 14. What's the scariest thing you remember that happened to you when you were younger? The scariest thing would be living in that creepy haunted house that I grew up in and seeing a bloody head on my floor. That would probably be the scariest thing, the creepiest thing ever happen to me. Because that's all I can remember. Being scary. Because I'm really not, like, scared. Because I can watch scary movies in the dark, all by myself, in my house, late at night, and not be afraid. Doesn't scare me. But being a little kid and finding a bloody head on your floor, yeah, that scared me. Last question. How is the world now different from how it was, like, when you were a child? let's see. When I was a child, I did not have an internet. Well, we had computers, but they were at school. We didn't have one in the house. But I didn't have internet. I didn't have no cell phone. You know, I didn't even grow up with a game system, technically, until I was like 12 or 13 years old. And then I finally got a game system that was already out of date. The Nintendo. It was already out of date because by the time I got the Nintendo to play around with, they already had the Nintendo 64 out. So, yeah. But the world being different today, a lot of the kids get to have tablets, computers, cell phones. Who gives a cell phone to their child? Really? Be a parent, go pick the kid up from school, don't give the kid a cell phone and expect them to call you. I can see a teenager getting a cell phone, but really? A little 8-year-old, a little 7-year-old? No. Really? No. They don't need no cell phones at that age. And yes, I do have to admit, I did buy tablets for my kids who are, you know, younger. They're under the age of 10, and I did buy tablets. But, you know, they see other kids with them, so they wanted one too. So I just felt like I should get them a tablet. But we don't play games on my game system that I have it, like, inside my house. Because, yes, I do have a game system. But that's another thing, you know, the game systems that, you know, the parents are buying for their children nowadays. I mean, if you sit and you think about it, they just sit there all day long. Do they ever go outside? No. Do they do anything? No. Because they're sitting and playing a game system that, in technicality, rip it out of the wall, break it in a million pieces, if it's not used for, like, Hulu or Netflix, or just watching a DVD, because that's all I use mine for. I do not own any games whatsoever. And make that child go outside. Make that child get dirty. Make that child do some housework. Because, yeah, that's what's wrong nowadays with children. They don't do housework because they're sitting on a game system and the parent don't do nothing about it. Now, I'm not saying that's all parents. No. But that's some of the people that I know from around here or elsewhere. That's all their kids do is play video games. And internet, I do have to admit to myself, I overuse the internet because, yeah, I'll sit all day long on my internet, but I still go outside and do stuff. I mow my grass. I put in a garden. Yeah. So I do things, but I do spend most of my time on the internet. And internet being also Hulu and Netflix and yeah, so but that's what I feel is, you know, different today is all that technology that's out there, iPads and iPods and dude, do you know how wonderful it would have been when I was a kid? What is going on with my hair? When I was a kid and I would have an iPod. If I had an iPod as a child, I would not have had to carry around a big old Walkman. Yes, I had a Walkman. And my Walkman played Tetris. Okay, so I did have a video game. But anyway, it was a long bus ride. But, you know, I would listen to my Walkman and play my Tetris, which, you know, after a while, I cut the little wire in there to play the Tetris because my mom overtook my Walkman and I couldn't, like, play with my music anymore because she was busy doing Tetris on my Walkman. So I cut that. So I could live without the video game. Because I was more into books. That's another issue. Kids don't read enough today. That's all I did. Because I'm noticing at work that people weren't reading like they should be. Because, holy crap, their grammar sucks. I mean, dude, I can't talk great. And, you know, my words don't quite match up to what I'm trying to say. But I can type something pretty good and make it halfway decent. But yeah, I've like read some things that some people have typed up, and it ain't good. Nope. But anyway, that was my throwback tag. So, I know, I like blah blah way too much, don't I? But like, comment, or subscribe, because I randomly put up videos. And thanks for watching!